Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the Dread Dev stream. Back from the Cyberpunk Jam, which was really awesome, and I was really excited. I got my game done, Dead Drop, got it submitted, getting some good reviews on it too, and I did it again! That's terrible. I'm sorry everybody. From the Here I am talking to myself once again. Anyway. Alright, let's pop this back open. There we go. Okay, so, anyway, getting some good reviews from Dead Drop. People think it's a really fun game once they, figure out what's going on. I was really pressed for time. I wanted to put it like an introductory tutorial in there to help clarify, that you have to mash the keyboard and then drive your little ship around, but I ran out of time, unfortunately. But I'll probably clean that up a little bit after the jam is over, it's a game jam, when judging, it's supposed to be locked in there. You don't change it until the judging is over, because, that's kind of defeats the whole point, because then you're essentially developing after the time that you're jamming. But anyway, yeah, totally going to do that. I'm going to fix it up, clean it up a little bit, and it's going to be great. It's already a fun game. Like I said, people are liking it. If you haven't checked it out, please do. itch.io/jam/cyberpunk-jam, and Dead Drops in there somewhere. I'll probably put the link to it in actually, hang on, let me see if I can do that real quick. Put it in my chat. Yeah, boom. Haha, cool. I actually had it in my clipboard. Haha, go me. That's thinking ahead accidentally. So, yeah, there it is. Feel free, go try it, rate it, all that fun stuff. But let's get to Dread, because that's probably what you're all here for. I've got some stuff planned today. In fixing one bug that I made a hotfix for the last update, I ended up breaking something else. So, I realized that once I started playing on the level that the cell that I made the other week, and I popped it open because I was going to mess around with it and test out some other stuff, when I realized that you could get into that little security area, and I'll fire it up here real quick, and we can take a look and see what I mean. And I was like, well, what's going on there? Turns out that the level start trigger was not activating bits. So I went in and I fixed that, quote unquote. And in fixing that, quote unquote, I broke the level start trigger for other types of events. So the level start trigger should, on level start, it should lock. I'll open up the cell real quick. So what it should do is it should lock this door. Remember, on level start, if I pop open the trigger part, level start, lock the doors. And it needs to lock that door, and it needs to lock that door, which is what that trigger is supposed to do. But if we are to play it real quick, what do we have here? Wandering around. Go in. Anybody there? Da, 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 da. Oh, look at that! Door's unlocked. How convenient. Oh, look at all those weapons. Awesome. Let's just walk in there, grab them, and, oh no, enemies. Yeah. So, that's... Yeah, shotgun. Anyway, so, that's not really what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be able to get in there. It's supposed to lock the door, so I'm going to fix that. Let's see, save changes. No, it doesn't matter. Or quit, I guess. Alright, so, yeah, that's broken. That sucks. We don't want it to be broken. I'm going to go in here and fix it. Again. Hopefully. So that's the first thing we're going to do. Is we're going to fix that trigger. And I'm pretty sure that I know what I did. So I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to go in here and fix it relatively quickly. So let's see. In here, you see this section that I blocked out? This blocked out section is what broke everything. So I commented it out, and now I need to uncomment it. But the reason why I commented it out is because it was not working with bits. It was activating bits and stuff and switches and things when it shouldn't have been. So I added this in here, and that worked. But then I, in my brilliance, thought, oh well, I mean, I don't need to push out an activation signal to all of my triggers. They should be looking for that automatically. I should just comment out that whole section and it'll be fine. And it was not fine, and I didn't test it thoroughly, and I should have known better. But you know, that's that's the fun of game dev. Oh. Drink the coffee, Barrick. Don't breathe it. Oh, sorry, guys. Alright, let's try not to die while live on air. Okay, so now that I've fixed that, I think, and this is a think again, that fixed the issue that I was having. Let's give it a shot and try it out and find out for sure. I'm also really excited. While this loads up, I'll mention this as well. I finally got the my license for the Linux export module, or the Ubuntu export module, working. So I can now export Dread to Linux, which is something I've been wanting to do. The only issue that I have right now is I'm having some trouble with my Linux box. But I'm going to have that fixed. That's not really related to the game development of Dread. Other than I'm going to fix up my Linux box, and I'm going to push out whatever we get done today. I'm going to push out that update for Feedback Friday and add a Linux edition, which is going to be awesome. I know a lot of people are really excited about having it on Linux. I know I am. I'm really excited to see how that works, and if there's any issues. I don't think that there's any real problems with GameMaker exporting to Linux, or loss of functionality, but I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so we're gonna push it out there. I'll have you guys try it out. Any of you guys that have a Linux box, I'd be thrilled if you could give me some feedback and let me know if stuff's broken or what's going on, so that I can fix it and get it all working. Alright, so let's see. We're going to pop open that same cell level, and we're going to play it again and see if my fix fixes the problem. Running over here. See? Look at that. It's still broken. Why is it broken? It's still broken. Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to figure out was broken. Hey, we got somebody saying something. I don't know, is an emoticon actually saying something? I think so. I'm going to pop in there and say, hello! I think that's the first time anybody's actually said something. So, thank you, Chris. Welcome to the show. Alright, so we're going to hop on here and figure out what is going on. Hold ID to type, hold it to switch, trigger, hold ID.active equals 1. Should be working, I think. Right? Should be. Okay. Well, let's experiment. Because whenever we have a bug, the best way to debug it is to experiment and try to figure out exactly what's going on and why it's not working. So if our level start trigger is not working, and we need to make sure that it's a legit thing with the level start and not something like that the save file's messed up somehow or something. So we're going to make a door. We're going to stick our guy in here. We're going to take and make a level start trigger. Stick it around right there. And we're going to have that lock door. Well, the levels... now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, this should work just fine. Let's call this my level 3. I don't know. Yeah, okay, okay. I know exactly what that means. All right. So the function that I was working on where I was focusing on my fix, which is this, only applies to when it's connected to other triggers. So if there's no other triggers and it's still broken, then this is not where the problem is. The problem is in the actual function itself for when the level start trigger activates its event. So let's see. On level start, alarm 2 equals 2, so that fires this guy up. If level type equals level start and room equals game room, which is, you know, correct, then active equals 1. Alarm 3 equals 2. If level start, active equals 0. And so that's what makes it pulse and turn on then turn off right when it starts off in the game. So we're looking at it here, and it should be active, right? So maybe it's not something broken with that. Maybe it's something broken inside the event. So let's see here. Here's the lock. So if game room and active equals 1, and type does not equal timer, so that's, you know, that's running. Then switch, if game room, switch event, case lock. For the output list, can use equals 0. You know, now that I'm thinking about this, I did just recently also change the door mechanic system. Let's see. Oh no. That's weird. Huh. I just realized that for some reason I had stopped streaming. Very strange. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out. I'm back. Sorry about that. Open Broadcaster just randomly decided to stop streaming. That's disconcerting. I wonder how often it's done that. Well, fortunately, I'm still recording through the whole thing, so I'm going to be, yeah, the part that's missing is going to be on YouTube soon. So that's about the best I have to say about that. And yeah, thank you, Chris. I guess I'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe I should stick my little open broadcaster down here in the corner. Except that's gonna look weird. Let's see. Let's. Can I stop my preview? Enable view. There we go. Preview disabled. There we go. So we can just kind of shrink this down here, and stick it in the corner. There. I'll just kind of, you know, look over there every now and then and make sure it's still streaming. Okay. Anyway, sorry for the distraction. We're going to figure out if it is the new programming that I did for doors that affected the door lock system, which is quite possible, because I wanted to make sure that, because triggers need to be able to open doors regardless of their status. So if they're usable, or if they're or not, or if by the player, or if the player has a key or not, it still needs to be able to be opened by other triggers. So I've put that functionality in there, which works great, but I think that actually broke it at the same time. So we need to take a look and fix that. So let's see. If character.key type does not even type, so if the player does not have a key, then the door is, you know, unusable. If use, you know, now I don't think any of the doors lock, because if use needs to have an and can use, because can use, the variable, is what prevents the door from being opened. Can use and can use equals, oh, use and can use, then do that. Right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's see here. Use, can you... Yeah, so in the last update, apparently I completely broke doors so that you could just, you know, walk right through any door that you wanted, whether it was locked or a different color key card or, you know, whatever. Which, you know, that's dumb. Alright. Let's try this and see if it works. The debug process is a fickle process, full of things that you never think are connected to other things until you actually realize that they're connected to other things and breaking them. Come on, load up. There we go. Alright. We're going to pop into the level editor. We're also going to load up the cell once again. We're going to hit play and see if we can run around and actually open the door. Okay, so we can open regular doors, which is good. That's the way it's supposed to be. We can still open locked doors, though. So it's still broken. Ah! Alright. Let's see. If use and can use. So, let's see. Can use should be off. Oh! Oh! Okay. Once again, realize my problem. So, and type if okay, if okay. So the problem is now this little section of code is making it so that we can always use white doors, regardless of whether they're supposed to be locked or not. Because we start off with a white key card. It's an invisible key card, if you will. But we start off with a white key card so that we can open just generic white doors. But this is making it so that if we have the white door and type does not equal, let's see, no, because that would lock the door. We don't want to lock all the doors. So else if this is where we want to put it, if type does not equal 0, because type 0, if we go in here and look at it, where is it? Yeah, select color type. So if we go in here to the scripts and we look at select color, you see 0 is white. Okay, just double checking, making sure. Alright, so white. If it's not, okay, so if we don't have the key card, then lock the door. But if we do have the key card and it's not a white door, then we can use it. So this will prevent it from automatically unlocking all white doors. Hopefully. And hopefully it won't lock all the white doors in the process. So we're going to fire it up and try it again. Gotta love that playtesting, right? Yeah. Okay, so pop open custom level, open up the cell, we're gonna run it, we're gonna play it as the cell, and we're gonna drop it. And you know, I probably don't need to open up the cell from the level editor. I could probably just play it from the main menu instead. Ah, look at that, locked doors are locked, and unlocked doors are unlocked. And now it works. well, kinda. Oh, look at that. Look, it didn't work. Because that should be opening up all of these doors, and it's not. It's not. Okay. So that fixed one problem and caused another. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's so great. Okay, so let's see. How does the open door exactly function? Where is it? Use object. Where's use object? Use object. That's probably the easiest way to do this, is if I go into use object, which I think is actually at the top, isn't it? Did I scroll by? I did. Yep, here we go. If it's not equal trigger. Okay. Output list. Use once. Use. Look at that. So that seems to be functioning properly. Okay. Okay, I think I see what the problem is. Going back into our lock. So, this little addition here, can use. The triggers will pass on yeah, so the trigger tries to use a door, and if can use is 0, then it won't actually do the open door code. So we need can use to either be 1 or something, but we can't have can use be 1. Well, I suppose we could, because it doesn't. Well. I'm trying to think if I can do this an easy way, or if that's going to break even more. Because if I pass the can use onto a door when it's used by a trigger, so make it usable and use it. Could we like? No, we can't really do that, because that would like lock the door. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to pass that information on, and then I guess lock it after, because we can't really lock it. Yeah, okay, yeah, alright, that should work. It should. I don't know if it will, but it should. Alright, let's go in here and fix this in the use trigger. So, if it doesn't equal trigger, which, you know, is important, because it's a door. So if it doesn't equal trigger, hold id dot can use equals 1. So it is usable. And, let's see. That'll kind of work, but it's not. It's actually not going to work entirely, and the reason why is because we still have I'm probably going to have to change that mechanic a little bit, because I don't think that there's a way around that. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to go in here and we need to have a new variable. We'll put a new variable into the door, and we're going to separate that from can use. So can use is going to be if the player can use it. Trigger use is well, the trigger's always going to be able to use it. So yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna have is we're gonna have trigger use and use. Use being dependent on can use because that's gonna be the player. Trigger use being the exact same functionality as use, but it does not check to see whether the can use is a thing or not. That will work. That will work. Okay. Workarounds for the win. Alright, so can use, that's all fine and good because that's with the character. Now this is, we're going to have to add an additional thing in here. We're going to have to do, this is its own separate thing. If use and can use, then the player's using it, great. Or, trigger use. So trigger use is our other variable, and actually I need to name that better. Let's use my now standard naming convention, trigger use. So let's see. I kind of got a mix of naming conventions in here, which is not particularly great, but that's what happens when you change naming conventions partway through the project. All right, so trigger use. So if trigger use is good, then we're good. And what we're going to do is we're going to have triggers activated. So here's the use trigger, and we're going to make we're going to get rid of that because that doesn't matter. Trigger use is the opposite of trigger used. So it's not the current trigger use. So it'll swap back and forth. And we're going to do the same thing down here. Trigger use. Trigger use. If instances hold use, da da da. Trigger use, trigger use, trigger use, trigger use. Cool. Okay, so I think pretty sure that that's going to make that work now, all nice and proper, without interfering with the player being able to open or use objects or doors or anything like that. So let's hop in here, double check it, make sure. It's important to do so as we go. Alright. Level editor. In here I was thinking this was just going to be a quick, easy bug fix. God. See, that's the problem with thinking that. You jinx yourself. You say, this will take me like 2 minutes. Piece of cake. I'll just toss a thing in there and be done. No. The game dev gods say no. Okay, look at that. Now it works. Close the door. Close the damn door. Oh, God. I can't close that door. I'm being chased. Run through him. Plow through. Can I close this door? I can't even close that door. What about these doors? Nope. Aha! I know why. I know exactly why. And the reason why is because, like, for example, this door has it has a level start trigger that opens this door. Now, trigger use. This will actually be really easy to do. This will be an easy fix. I swear, this will be an easy fix. I can fix this. But what's going on is that the trigger it's being used and it's being held open by that use. Once it clicks over with trigger use, it's being held open, and that's not ideal by any means. So what we want to do is that I see like use equals 0. If this is the animation to open up the door, if the door is not open, then open the door. But if the door is open, we're going to set trigger use to 0. So if trigger use is on, because well, no, we need to make sure that we have that. If trigger use, so that way we don't completely break the trigger use. Alright, so if trigger use is on, and then we're going to turn trigger use back off so that we don't end up locking our doors open. But that's only if the trigger use is on and the door is open. Now, there's another object that is directly influenced by being used, and that is the switches. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a very similar thing here and make a trigger use thing for this as well. So let's let's put it, I guess, right here. That's fine, good as place as any, huh? Trigger use equals 0. Alright, and then we're gonna go in here. If use previous, blah 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 blah, can use blah 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 blah, or trigger use that does not equal, and I'm just gonna mirror. For this object, I have to mirror that behavior. Otherwise, the switch will, just flip out and go like and swap back and forth between on and off. So if it does not equal trigger use previous, then audio play sound switch. And it's not even that it necessarily is going to like switch on and off, it's just going to make the sound of the switches on and off. Or trigger use. Alright, now we're going to have to make, so that's just going to swap the switch on and off graphic. And that's all that this does, really. I mean, the switch, the only thing that the switch object does is look pretty, turn on and off as far as visual, and make a sound effect. The rest of it doesn't matter at all, because all the rest of the switch behavior is handled via the switch function trigger, which is something entirely different. Now let's make sure that that the trigger use, because triggers now need a trigger use as well. So trigger use equals 0, so that when we have a switch that has a use, and it's use, or a trigger that has a use capability and is activated by another trigger, that it will function properly. So let's see, that's going to be in the type, if type is use, and all this stuff. Alright, else active equals use. Alright, we're going to leave all of this alone, because all of that is dependent on the character object using the event. So now what we need to do is we need to make the trigger use functionality. Say if trigger use equals 1. Actually, I don't need to make it true. I can just make it if trigger use, because 1 is true anyway. So if trigger use, so if trigger use is on, then we're going to make active equals trigger. Well, I guess active equals 1, because if trigger use is on, then active equals 1. So active equals 1. Oh, there's a use once option as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to go into there. Active equals use. I have to make that in here. Active equals use. If trigger use, then active equals 1, use once equals 1. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then basically do the same thing down here. Active equals 1. All fine and dandy. The use once doesn't really matter. We activate it, and then it's just on. trigger use, active equals 1, which is all fine and good. Ah, crap. How can I make that? How? I just realized it stopped streaming. Son of a... Alright. How can I stop that? I think it was because the button was highlighted, and for some reason it was registering that when I was pressing enter or return over here and doing all that, it's doing that over there, and it needs to not do that because that's annoying, and I'm stopping my stream. I'm like jittering my stream, and it's terrible. But I think if I deselect that button, it won't do it again. I hope. Type. No, nothing. Alright, well, I'm still gonna keep my eye on it. 'Cause that's suspicious. Very suspicious. Even my own broadcaster's against me today. Okay, so here we are. Trigger use. Active equals 1. That's great. So we're gonna be active. We need to make sure that we turn the... Well, how are we gonna do that? It's not really like how. It's a matter of... It's more of a design question. Okay, so when you have a trigger and you set it up to, like, with a use object trigger, when that trigger is activated, it's gonna act like a continuous use until it's deactivated. So we need to check and make sure that when use target, so, and then it's deactivated and it's gonna activate again, which would turn it back off. So we basically need to just make this, we're gonna make this real easy. It's just gonna be trigger use active equal, and we don't even need that. All we have to do is put in active equals trigger use. Trigger use. There we go. Helps if I spell it right. Okay, and so that will work. To explain it easily, that will work. Okay. So let's fire it up one more time because I think I fixed the other problem that I was having and all that good stuff. So let's see if it's gonna work. We're gonna pop into the cell again, and we're going to test the doors again. Custom levels. Do I want to find custom levels? No, I already have a custom level thing. Oh no, look at that! Trigger use previous. Well, yeah, it would help to actually define that, wouldn't it? Let's go into our switch object. Let's define trigger use previous, which is gonna be 0. There we go. Alright, now let's fire it up again and test. Remember, kids, always declare your variables before use. Custom levels. No, I already have it. Thank you. Alright, well, we didn't crash that time, so we're on the right track. Door opened perfectly, so we're on the right track there. You can't open the door yet. Okay, that's right. Oh no, look, it didn't. Didn't open the doors. Why did it not open the doors? Why? Why, I ask? Ucry Games says, hey, that's Game Maker, right? Yes, it is! This is Game Maker Studio Professional Edition. Yep. Let's see. Our doors are not opening when they should, and I'm not entirely sure why. What did I break this time? The stream is not capturing the game. That's terrible. Why is it not captured? Alright, hang on, let's see here. Nah, well, alright. Let's switch it out. I was going into full screen mode by default, so that was probably why it's not capturing the game. I'm sorry, everybody who's been watching. You've just been hearing me play my own game without actually getting to see what I'm doing. So probably some of what I'm saying doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this new broadcaster. It's a great broadcaster, don't get me wrong. I love it. It's the best broadcaster I've used so far, but I'm still getting used to it. And there's a lot of customization stuff in it, like, you know, telling it to do to only show certain windows and all that stuff that I'm still kind of working out the kinks and trying to get my stream working properly. So, you know, forgive me. I'll get this right one of these days, I'm sure. Okay, so our doors, let's see, our doors are else if trigger used and trigger use equals 0. Oh, no, well, no, that should be working. Let's comment that out just to be on the safe side, because I think it was working before, and now it's not. Yeah, I love Open Broadcaster. It's a great little program. Very useful, very helpful, and I love the fact that it saves streams in a nice, compact format. That's really great. I'm so used to... I used to use, you know, Fraps for all kinds of recording stuff, and good lord, I needed like a terabyte hard drive on the side just to store the raw data, because it was saving it in raw AVI format, and good lord, there's like 8 gigs for like 10 seconds of video. No, that's not gonna work. Oh, it still doesn't work. Okay, so let's see. Oh, and it was in full screen mode. Why was it in full screen mode? I told it to not do full screen mode. Did I not start in full screen mode? No, do not start in full screen mode. Well, let's see. I'm going to pop the game open, and I'm going to make sure that the option is unchecked. I think that's why, because the option for full screen mode is checked in the options, so that's probably automatically going to full screen mode regardless. So let me pop in here, see if it goes into full screen mode, or pop it out of full screen mode. Windowed mode. Ha, there we go. Hey, let me know if you can see the stream, or see the window on the stream. But first, let's see here. Trigger use, so trigger use is not working right. More trigger use. Oh shit, that's a lot of data. Yes, it is. A whole lot of data. That's why I kind of stopped using Fraps and was, you know, looking for other broadcasters or other ways to screen cap. Because that's just unusable. Alright, so this shit, that won't matter because that's not what's breaking everything. So, if trigger use works, oh good, thank God, something works. Today nothing has worked for me. It's terrible. Alright, let's see. Go into our use target. Target does not hold trigger. Hold ID dot trigger use equals not hold ID dot trigger use. So that's correct. It should be doing the trigger usey goodness. Should be. So let's have the door tell us exactly what the heck is going on here. Let's see. Let's fire it up again. I'm gonna fire it up in debug mode. I don't think that you'll be able to see the debug window because the game will take up, you know, a chunk on the stream here. But with debug mode, we'll be able to kind of see. I don't know, maybe that's showing up. I don't know if that shows up on the stream or not. If it's overlaying it, probably not, but that's okay. Oops. No. Oh, and I just close it. Whoops. Alright, so I'm going to go into debug mode, and I'm going to try and figure out why the doors are not... or what their status is here. So we're going to go into the custom levels, the cell. Alright. And we're going to pop over here. Now that we're running it in debug mode, let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. This is object 100447. Okay, so let's add 100447 dot trigger use and figure out what its status is. Trigger use is not changing. Maybe it's the switch object that's doing it. It is. Oh. Ah, terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay. See, change one thing, break a million other things. Cascading effect of doom. Alright, so the reason why that's not working is because the way that the switch triggers, the ones that are attached to triggers that are attached to switches, is that they're looking at the switch and seeing if its use is on, and it wouldn't be, because we're changing the trigger use and not the use. Let me think. What's a good way? Because I could have active equal. I'd have to have active equals use. So let's say. Well, let me see here. I might actually be able to switch that around, because if I can just have. I can work with that. That'll be easy. Let's get rid of that. And that doesn't really matter because of the way that we're changing things. We're just going to say if trigger use, then use equals 1. Ta-da! That should work. So that way we don't have to try and juggle multiple variables to check for the trigger for the switch triggers to check, instead of having to check, oh, is trigger use on or is use on? No, we'll just use the one variable. And we can get away with that with the switch because it's just cosmetic. The door we couldn't really get away with that on because there's actually some functionality involved with that as well. So let's see. Let's try it. No, we already have a custom level. It's called the cell. I made it a couple weeks ago. Thank you. Alright. Run over here. Activate the switch. No, it doesn't work. Oh, why not? Why? Why? What is wrong with you? Why do you hate me so? Do I have something that's changing trigger use? No, I don't. Trigger use should be on if trigger use equals 1. Right. Or if trigger use, actually I need to change that anyway. Trigger use equals the opposite of use. Actually that's not going to work at all. Trigger use equals 1. Now that's going to lock it. Alright, so trigger use. Oh, let's see. That would lock it on, in theory, except it's not actually working at all. Oh! Ah! If use equals 1, switch, hold switch equals instance nearest the exhaust switch object, yep. Active equals hold switch dot use. Right. Well, we know that use is actually working because the switch is being turned on. and we can see it swap its sprite. So we know that use is working, but now the trigger is not passing the information on, maybe? Alright, let's pop open the debugger again. And we're going to see what the status of that switch trigger is. Alright. Oh, UCryGame says, but you have if trigger use equals 1, but doing. Let's see. Well, see, the thing is that the trigger itself is monitoring the status of the switch. So if the switch is swapping its sprite, then it's working. No, not use with the parentheses, because I don't have a use function per se. Let's see. There's got to be a. Let's see. Which trigger is that? 154. 504. Okay. 504. Active. Active equals 0. Use once. It's not activating. The trigger's not activating. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. I think I see why. Okay, it's this. It's this. So use once is being turned on and all of that good stuff because the use once is there, and I think this is why. Is I need to have if. Oops. Use once equals 0. Yeah, there we go. If use once equals 0, then active equals trigger use. I'm pretty sure that that's what's going on. Alright, let's move that out of the way so I can see more of the chat if there is more. Okay, so I think that that's what's going on, is because of the use once stuff and all that kind of stuff, is once use once is active, which it will be, use once is on, active equals 1, use once equals 1, if use once equals 1, active equals use. Yeah. Active equals trigger use. Okay, if use once, active equals trigger use. Well, that's not really going to do it because trigger use is always going to be 0. And we're consistently setting active to 0, which is why it's not functioning. Because, you know, trigger use. Do I need a trigger use for triggers? I'm not convinced I do. What if I just switch that over to use? Back to use. Yeah, let's swap that back over to... I don't need a trigger use for this. I don't need that. Now that I think about it, I can just change that over here. So if the trigger is not a trigger, if it is a trigger, then it uses the switch object and sets the trigger use. There is no trigger used. You're not using the... I figured it out. But triggers can't be used. Not by a use trigger. They have to be activated by the trigger signals. So there's no point in a trigger having a trigger use, which was confusing the logic system for having the use, because use is supposed to be just for the player. That's just for the player interacting with stuff. So let's try here. Here I am trying to like fix something that's not even broke, and in doing so broke a whole bunch of other stuff. Look at that! Why is that? The doors are opening and then closing. Well, at least that's working, but the door's opening and closing. That's new. So let's find out why that's working. Alright, so I think that's this. I'm pretty sure that's this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's causing the door to automatically shut again. I hope that's what it is. Because I want to move on. I got other stuff I wanted to do today. I didn't just want to be bug fixing all day. I got other stuff I want to do. Please. Just work. Oh, where am I? Where is this place? This is bug hell is where it is. Ow! Stop it! Oh, stop it! Oh, and I can't shut doors! That's good. I'm okay with that. Well, except I'm not really okay with that. I want to be able to shut doors. I want to be able to... That should be a thing. I shouldn't have to... Okay, so we're close! We're close! That's why that was there, was because we wanted that to, you know, be... not... Oh, God. Okay, so... We're close. We're close. We're not quite there yet, but we're close. Okay, so... If trigger use is on... then... Let's see here... Yes. Yes. Ukraine Games. Yes. The grumpy cat with the 99 bugs. Yes. That is today in a nutshell. Oh, okay, so I'm looking at this. We need a way for trigger use. If trigger use is on, which is all fine and good, but we need the triggers to turn back off also. So let's have it. I think we can do that inside the trigger itself. Use it if so if it's active, if it's not active, and yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Okay, if this is gonna be fun. If event equals use target and active is 0, then we need to turn use target off. Oops. Let's just copy this guy. If use target, I don't even need to necessarily copy it, but I'm gonna add some functionality in here that when it's off, it will reset that off. So we need to let's just copy this. Actually, let's copy all of that. All that. The rest of that is just for turning it on. Oh no. Ah! Again! Why? Why? There should be nothing doing that. Nothing, I swear. Why is it stopping streaming? Why is it stopping streaming? I wonder. Hang on. Let me check a quick setting real quick. I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's see what it is here. Broadcast settings. There it is. Start stream and end stream hotkeys at home and end, and I'm using home and end when I'm programming stuff. Thank you very much. No wonder it's like stopping. I'm like, oh, let's get to the end of the line. End stream. All right, well that mystery is solved. Thankfully, I got one thing. I got one thing done in the mystery, in the mystery of that. That's great. I solved that mystery. Woo, go me. Okay, yay. At least I feel like I'm accomplishing something today. Okay, so that's our spawn number. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Alright, did I copy that? I'm pretty sure I copied that. Alright, so I copied the stuff that I need. We put this here, use once. Yeah, here we go. I did copy it. Good for me. Okay, so hold ID, output list. Okay, hold ID dot trigger use equals 0. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what else I just broke. Take a sip of coffee. Alright. Let's do this. Come on. You got this. We can do this, and we can move on. And where's the game window? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. Custom levels. No, the cell. I want to play the cell. The cell of hell. Run over here. Hit the button. Yay, door's open. Can I shut the door? I can't shut the door. I still cannot shut the door. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't even do it. I can't. Oh, I know why. Because while that's close to the functionality, that's only for use once. If it doesn't have use once, that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna have to add another line. Stupid frickin'. You have to get the stupid. Yeah, right. You know, get right there. Yeah, you stupid. Take this. You take that parentheses. And take that closed bracket and you just get rid of stupid you once and I'm active 0 and I'm gonna hit this and save and then I'm gonna play test it and it's gonna work and I'm just gonna have it. Wusa Zen. Everything is right in the world. Except this stupid level that doesn't work! Okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, that opens. Can I shut it? I can't shut it! You know what? That's... I'm just... Look at that! Isn't that great? Look, right there. I don't know if you can see that in the live stream, but I can see it right there. Trigger user! User! There's an R in the trigger user! There's an R. An extraneous R. Let's get rid of that R. Are you kidding me? Okay. Yeah. Alright. This is gonna work. This is stupid. No, I didn't want the level. You know what? This is gonna work. This is going to work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna work great, perfectly. Look at that. Doors open. and it's not going to work at all, and the door's still stuck open. Oh, look, now the other doors aren't opening either. That's awesome. They should be opening too, and they're not, and now they're just not working at all. You know, that's cool. I swear, I'm like spending the entire stream fixing this one bug. One bug! One! Just one measly little bug! Just one. Just one. That's it. That's all. Think. What is the problem? I believe that the reason why the doors on the other side of the level right there that should be opening but are not is because when trigger use is reset back to 0, the doors shut. So, let's just change that a little tiny bit. I can't change that. That was why. That was there in the first place. Okay. Trigger use. Okay. The doors are shutting. They should not be shutting. They should remain open. But that's because I can't actually reset trigger use that way. That's why. The trigger can't be reset like that because if it's reset like that, then the door will close. But I do need a way to reset trigger use without it closing. Actually, no, I don't. Now that I think about it, I think, ooh, I actually kind of like that. Okay, we're gonna keep it as it is. And not just because I'm saying screw it. No. The reason why we're keeping it as it is because this way. Oh, I like this. That's a fun functionality. Ah, that is a bug that just became a feature. So, use triggers. I'm going to demonstrate what I mean real quick, and we're going to move on. Now, the way that I was going to have it before is that when you use a trigger, it would just like use the door, and the door would open, and then you have to use it again, and it would, and the door would shut. But this is going to work a little bit differently. Now, what we're going to have it be, and I'm going to throw a quick demonstration here. Woo! A level. Okay, we're going to put a door in here. It's great. We're going to have we're going to create a collision. Let's see, collision with the player. We're going to use object or use target. Okay, we're going to use that door. Alright, we're going to stick a player in there. So, the way it was supposed to work before, and we're going to call that my level 3 because we already have a default test one, is that when if I was to step here, the door would open and it would stay open until, you know, I went off and did something else. But now, instead, the door will remain open for as long as the trigger is active. As soon as the trigger deactivates, the door shuts. that is cool. That is really cool, because I'm like, my head is exploding with possible things that I could do with that. Like doing timed sequences where, say you have a door that's only open for, like, you have to hit this switch and then hit this switch, and then the door remains open for, like, 5 seconds and then closes, and you have to make it through the door before the door closes. Well, that just got a whole lot easier to do, because now you can just have an AND that connects the 2 switches and a timer, and if the timer is 5 seconds, and then then it'll stay keep the door open until the timer goes, and then it'll shut the door, and it'll be great, and then you won't be able to use the door, and and all that fun stuff. Oh, I love it. Okay, one thing I want to test real quick as a separate thing is that on level start we're going to lock that door, and I want to test door locking mechanisms and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's try that real quick, real quick. The door is locked. I can't use the door. Now the door is functional. It's opening and closing when I collide with it, like it should be, but I still can't open the door. Yes! 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 That bug is complete. The bug is fixed. We are done with that bug. We can move the hell on. Oh yeah! Oh, so satisfying. Oh, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee real quick. Yes. Glorious. Okay, let's double check and make sure that my stream is still streaming. It is still streaming. So, we fixed that too. Good. Oh gosh. Alright. That bug has been fixed. Level start bug, fixed. All of those bugs, fixed. Oh, yes. Okay. So, welcome everyone to the Dread live stream. Today we're gonna work on a new user interface function. I'm just gonna start over from scratch. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a new feature that we're gonna add to the level editor. Okay. That new feature is going to be a hotbar toolbar at the bottom of the screen that's going to show like a little icon for all of the different objects, so that you can just quickly go down here, click on an object, and place it in the level, whatever type of object you want to place. It's similar to how hotkeys work, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and automatically switching objects, which is my preferred method of doing it. But of course, I know all of the hotkeys because I programmed the game and messed around with it so much that they're basically ingrained into my brain. But that's not necessarily the case for people who have been playing it. So, this is a requested feature by one of the players out there, and I like it. I think it's a really good idea, especially the way that I want to do it, which is I want to have a little hotbar pop up at the bottom, but also expand on when you hover over a particular object. So, like, if you're hovering over the door icon, a little additional pop-up will show all of the different door colors, so you can just click on a door color instead of having to rotate through them with the arrow keys. And also same with environmental objects. Instead of scrolling through all the environmental objects with the arrow keys, what you can do is it'll just pop up all of the environmental objects that are available, and then you can just go through and click on them and pick exactly which one you want, from a visual interface, which I think will be really nice. As long as we can get it working. So let's see what we're going to do. We are going to create a new object that I think we're going to do for that. Because we have our editor menu at the top, we're going to have editor tool, which is our cursor tool that actually creates everything. And so we're going to create a new object, and we're going to call that object editor editor bar. Yeah, we're just going to call it bar for simplicity's sake, and let's drop that into the UI folder for organizational purposes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the draw event right off the bat. We'll toss some code into here. We're going to say we're going to put your x equals view x view 0 which is to the left of the view. The y will equal the view, y view, 0, plus view h view, which is the height of the view, 0. So basically, what that's going to do is it's going to place it at the bottom left corner of the screen on every draw step. So it's going to draw it properly on the bottom left corner of the screen. Actually, we should probably change this event. We're going to change, instead of just normal draw, we're going to have it draw GUI. And because draw GUI automatically draws on top of everything else regardless. But the other thing that that's going to do is it's going to make the view, X view, and all of that obsolete, because it's based on the port that's on the screen instead of actual locations inside the game world. So we need to just have it 0. So it's going to be at the left side of the screen. It's going to be all the way at the bottom of view height, which is, you know, where it's supposed to be. So that's all fine and good. Alright, so first we're going to move it to there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw set color black. We're going to give it a black background. Let's see, black. And we're going to draw a rectangle, a nice rectangle. Draw a rectangle from XY to, let's see, what is it? X would be view width, view H view, 0. And we're going to draw it at negative 32. So it's going to be the same height as, well, do I want it the same height as my icons? That might make it a little confusing. Maybe we should make it a little bit bigger than that. So let's make it 48. So this could be slightly bigger than well, now let's keep it at 32 and just see how that looks. We'll just see how that looks. I don't know if it'll look good or not, but we'll see how it looks. And we're gonna draw set alpha, so it'll be slightly transparent, because transparencies look cool. And we're going to draw the alpha as 1 once again. And the reason we're going to do that is because we don't want to have all of our little icons drawn semi-transparent. We want them to be solid. So let's see, we're going to draw... Oh, let's see, what's the best way to do this? Yeah, let's do it as a for loop. So we're gonna draw base icon equals 0. Draw base icon plus or is less than. Oh, let's see, how many icons are we gonna have? Wall, door, keycard, switch, gun, ammo, health, character, zombie, environmental object. Probably window also. Yeah, I should separate that from the wall object. So just, yeah, let's do that. So 11 for now. So if it's less than 11, that's great. Draw base icon plus equals 1. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to draw all of our lovely icons. And the best way to do that is with a switch statement. So we're going to say switch draw base icon. So this is going to be dependent on what the switch or what draw base icon is. So if it's 0, and we're going to try and mesh this up as with the hotkeys for simplicity's sake, then we're going to draw sprite wall. Let's see. I'll make sure. Yeah, I think I just did. Yeah, wall S. Okay, good. Wall S. Making sure my naming conventions are how I remember them. We need it to be a particular one though. I think it's 48 is the subimage, because the wall sprite is made up of all of the different combinations of walls. Let's double check that real quick. Subimage. Nope, it's subimage 45 is the one we need. Okay, so take that back. It's not 48, it's 45. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, we're gonna draw that at X, and Y. Let's see. Let's change the Y. For simplicity's sake, let's change the Y of it to always 32, and we're gonna make that as 32. And that way, yeah, that way we can just use the X and Y coordinates of the editor bar as our base coordinate location. So, there we go, case break, case 1. Actually, let's just copy this and change some variables, because that's going to be easy to do. Alright, we got, what, 11 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11! Power coding! Copy and pasting. Alright. Okay, so 1 is going to be... let's get rid of our sprites here. Well, we're going to probably need to keep that open, actually. Let's be on the safe side. Okay, so now next is door. Door sprite, subimage, 0. Yeah, that'll be good. Case 2. Oops, my bad. I just realized. Let's shrink this down. I needed to add another feature in here, or another function. And that function is that we need to put the x coordinates over by 32. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it x plus draw base icon times 32. Alright, and that's just going to automatically push it over by 1 for every single one of the things. You know, I actually I'm thinking I might want to add a little buffer in between all of the icons, just to separate them out a little bit so there's not as much confusion. So let's make it by 36. That'll space them out just a little bit for us, which will be nice. Alright, so that's door S. Case 2. Let's see, not door, but key S. Key card S, I mean, of course. 0. Alright. And that one might actually, well, no, that'll be fine. That'll be fine, never mind. That will be fine. Be fine. It won't have a choice. Alright, so that's our key card. Now we're gonna do our switch object. Sprite. Switch sprite? Switch. What did I call this? I called this, oh right, switch on and off. Okay, let's make it switch on S. Yeah. Switch on. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. And case 4 is gun pickup. Gun pick up. Nope. What did I call it? Oh, that's right. I had to separate them out. So, let's see. Called it. Let's stick the machine gun in there. I like the machine gun. It's a cool little icon. Machine gun. M gun S sprite. Yes. Case 5. All right. Case 5 is ammo. Probably what I call it, M gun. Yep, M gun ammo. Naming conventions. They're important. Ammo pickup. Health pickup is health. No, med. I called it med, I think. Med pack? Ah, med pack. That's right. Alright. What else? Number 7 is that's our character. I could call him, what I call him, player? No. Guy? I don't remember what I called the player. Characters. Oh, that's right, I had to separate the characters. Right. I split them all up into different things. That's fine. So the character's actually made of 4 parts. Well, 4 kind of. So we need to draw a body first. So actually, no, we need to draw the feet. And then, whoops. That's not going to be good. So we need to draw the feet, and then we need to draw the body, and then we need to draw the head. Draw feet, draw body. Draw head. And the reason I separated them all out into various layers like that was so that I can independently animate each layer and also mix and match the layers so we can have customizable characters and do some custom character creation, which will be cool. Granted, you can barely see the character because he's a little tiny little dude on the screen walking around, but still, character customization. Awesome. Always a positive thing to have in a game. Alright. Now, let's see. Let's just take and copy this and paste it. Alright. 8. Not 9. 8. There we go. That's our zombie. Zombie. No. That's not what I called it. What did I call it? I called enemy. Ooh, wow, that's enemy. Once again, demonstrating the importance of naming conventions and not swapping your naming conventions like in the middle of your project, which I did, and I'm kind of regretting. Alright, that's for the enemy. Next is now the enviro object, I already know that that's broken up into several ones, so we're going to call that enviro obj. No, it's enviro 1x1 s. Let's call it solid. Let's use the solid one. The solid one is boxes, and boxes are pretty well defined as to, you know, hey, look, this is environmental objects. Alright, and then 10, which is our last one, I think. Yep. 10 is our window. So let's add in window. Yeah. Look at that. I called it correctly, I think. Window S. Yeah, there we go. Window S 0 da 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 da. Okay, so that's very good. Alright, now we're going to let's see, we're going to make sure that that object is created. So we'll have the editor menu created just to make sure that it gets put into the level properly. Alright, and then it doesn't get erased because, let's see, create instance, create, editor menu, or no, editor bar, I mean, at, doesn't matter because it will automatically reset itself, so 00 is fine. Editor bar. Okay, let's fire it up and see what that looks like in-game, and see if we need to pad the vertical background a little bit to make it look nice. Nice thing about having this bar the way that I've been designing is that it's going to have a lot of room for expansion too. So as I put new objects and new features and stuff in the game, it will I can easily dynamically add stuff to it, and it will work just fine. Okay, so, whoa! What the? about expanding that background vertically, I think we accidentally expanded it a little too much. I think it's looking a little off there. But this is how our bar is going to look at the bottom. It looks like stuff is spaced out pretty nicely, but some of it is also very wrong because it's all... what's the word I'm looking for? Wonky? Wonky's a good word. Alright. Let's open up the editor bar. Figure out where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong with drawing this? Draw a rectangle at x, y. X is good. Y equals view h view 0 minus 32. Yeah. To 32. Oh, right. That would be y. Yeah. No. To view H view. That explains why that was all messed up. So it needs to be at the bottom of the screen. There. Yeah. Okay, and also for certain objects, we need to make sure that the X and the Y. Actually, we could do that for all of them. That would be an easy way to fix this. Alright, I'm going to replace the N bit here with some additional functionality. And that additional functionality is X plus sprite. Let's see how easy that function is. Sprite get offset. And whether it would be easier to just do this for each individual one. Get X offset and get Y offset for a particular index. It's just going to be easier to modify each one dependent rather than replace it all like this. So wall is fine. Door needs to be plus 16 and plus 16. And I say plus 16 and plus 16 because the origin of said object, actually, I think the door is probably fine. Now that I think about it. Door doesn't need an offset, but the sprite origin for all of these objects is different. So like the sprite origin for pistols is directly in the center of the image. The sprite origin for walls and doors and windows is up in the top left corner. Which means that we need to add to pretty much most of these, we need to add a buffer. Not a buffer, an offset of its location to plus 16, plus 16, plus 16, plus 16 to all of these in order to center them properly. Alright. Plus 16, plus 16, plus 16, plus 16. Plus 16, plus 16. That's enemy. Environmental objects will also need to be plus 16, plus 16, but Windows will not. Okay. Alright. Oh good, we're still streaming. Just had to double check that real quick while the thing loads up for us. Alright, so if we pop open the level editor, we have a very nice little thingy here. Yeah, that looks good. Yep, I'm thinking that we're gonna want to spread out our object icons a little bit, and environmental object is not plus 16. Okay, good to know. I will fix that. We're going to want to spread out our objects a little bit, and I definitely think we're going to want to expand our little bar there a little bit as well. So let's do that. And in doing so, we're going to also have a nice effect where we recenter, where we can center it. So we're going to make it, let's see, how much of a buffer should we put? 4 and 4 would be 8. So if we put 4 pixels on the top and 4 pixels on the bottom as far as a vertical buffer goes, that'll be quite nice. And also let's put a nice little buffer here. So x equals 4. So I'll add a nice buffer there. So we want to make it, instead of negative 32, we want to make it add 6, which makes negative 36. We want to replace this. I'm just going to copy a chunk out of here and have it replace 36 with, let's see, that's what, 4. 32 plus 8 is 40, so let's make it 40. Oh. Case sensitive, whole word only is times 36. There we go. Replace all. There we go. 40. So that gives us a nice horizontal buffer, and we're going to add a nice little vertical buffer in here. By doing this, let's subtract 4 from the top of, oops, wrong one, from our y and do it to the bottom. And that's going to give us a nice little background buffer. And you know, I was looking at the transparency and I'm not convinced I like the transparency either, just because it makes it confusing with what's going on in the rest of the screen. So let's get rid of the transparency and see how that looks as well. Alright, level editor. Okay, now we have a nice, oh, I forgot to fix that offset, but regardless, we have a very nice looking thing here. Oh, we're missing 4 pixels in our background. That's okay, we can fix that. Alright, so next up, we want to highlight the have like a little, like a highlight over the bar so that we know that we're like hovering over something, just to add to the visualness of it. So I think we'll make like a little like green pop-up. Alright, and alright, so let's do that. Let us do that. First we're going to add a -4 buffer to that to close up our little black gap, and we're going to where is it? Environmental. We're going to remove the offset so that that looks proper, and now we're going to do some fun stuff with our mouse. What we're going to do is we're going to say if the mouse what is it? Mouse window, no. Window, was it window get mouse X? No, it's window get something. Window get, no, window, maybe window mouse? There it is, window mouse get. Okay, window mouse get X. And the reason why I'm using Windows mouse get X and not mouse X is because when you're drawing to the GUI, like I said earlier, it is entirely dependent. Actually, this needs to be Y anyway. It is entirely dependent on the window. All of the locations are reset to the window, meaning that it's like the top left corner of the window is 0 and all that stuff. And window mouse get Y and all of that will give us the mouse position relevant to the window, which will make it register properly in the GUI event. So what we're going to do is if window mouse get Y is greater than, let's see, view hview 0 minus 40. So in other words, if it is greater than or equal to, if the mouse is over our hotbar, we're going to check and see where the mouse, which of the icons the mouse is over. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to check and see. Let's see, mouse, window mouse get X. Okay, so we're going to have it be we're going to hold on to selection equals window mouse get x divided by let's see, what is it? What's our buffer? 40? Yeah, 40. Okay. Divided by 40. And actually, we're going to do this in a fun way. We're going to floor it. And we're going to do that times 40. Okay? Now, if we floor that variable and then times it by 40, what that does is it gives us a very nice integer of which one of these things we're hovering over. So if, in other words, let's say draw base icon is 2. Okay, so draw base icon 2. If draw base icon's 2 and which is the key card, if we're hovering over the key card, this hold selection, because of the positional stuff, the hold selection will be 2. This thing will return 2, a nice functional integer for us to play with. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw set color C green, and we're going to draw a rectangle at let's see, the X is going to be hold selection times 40. Let's see, and we have a what? If it's 32, that's an 8 thing buffer, so a 4 pixel buffer. So we need to subtract 4 so that it centers it properly. And then the Y is going to be Y. The drawbar is Y minus 4, and then the X is going to be the second X is going to be hold selection times 40 plus 4 to give us a nice border on the other side. And the Y is actually, let me think about that. I'm not sure that plus 4 should be there. I don't think it should be. Yeah, no, because that's going to make it a butter of 44, and that's going to make it worse. So just times 40. That should be fine, in theory. Outline equals 0, because we don't want to draw an outline. Oh, we forgot the second Y. Second Y is view HView 0, and outline 0. Okay, and then it's going to draw the icon on top of that. So let's take a look and see how that works. Make sure that that's going to look right. Alright, level editor. So, yeah. Okay. It's not. That's not even functioning. Look at that. Why is it not functioning? I wonder if our get X and get Y is not working right. If mouse get Y is greater than or equal to HView minus 40, right, yeah. Hold selection equals floor times 40. Hold selection times 40. Yeah, that should, I think, be working, right? Well, you know what? Let's have a debug message show up. Let's have it show up here. Show message. We're gonna have it show message string hold selection. So that's gonna tell us where it thinks the X is, and if it doesn't pop up, then we know that the Y function's not working right, or I'm not that it's not working. that I'm using it wrong, which is entirely possible given today's circumstances so far. Oh, good lord, today has just been terrible. Ah, look at that. Oh, hey, whoa, 160? 160? What? 160? I mean, that explains that, but still, 160? What is even this? Alright, floor. Divided by 40. Yeah, that's... Multiplied by 40 twice? That could be. Well, let's see. The hold selection is what what it's showing. So this calculation is wrong. Whatever is wrong here, this is what's wrong. So if we're looking at it and it's like, let's say we're over here and it's within 40. So 40 divided by 40 is 1. 1 times 40. Oh! 1 times 40. We shouldn't be multiplying. We shouldn't be multiplying. That's why. There should be no multiplication. None. Zip zero nada. Capiche? You're right, Chris. We were multiplying by 40 twice. Oh, whoops. Then I forgot to turn the debug message off. Whoops. Because it's not going to work if it's popping up a debug every time. Alright. Level editor. Oh, look at that. We have something. It's just not exactly correct. It's woo, look at that. So it's drawing it, it's just I put the draw position wrong. Of course. Because, you know, why not? Oh, that's why. Because we need to do it plus 40. Okay, I think that did it, but I'm not sure if that's centered. Let's find out. Level editor. Blah, blah, blah. That looks a little fat to me. It's a little... Yeah, see, it's kind of... It's a little off there. I guess the -4 buffer is incorrect. So that's... Which, you know, that's fine. I can get rid of that. -4. And that should center it nicely. One more time. Just for... my own amusement. Okay. So now, level editor. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. We have a nice selection. All that good stuff. I like it. That's good. Our little coordinate thing is in the way, though. I don't like how that overlaps. I should probably move that coordinate thing up to off of the hotbar, off the toolbar. Yeah, let's move it to up off the toolbar. Let's do that. I think it's the tool that does that. Yeah, isn't it? I believe it's the tool. Yeah, hold coordinate equals blah 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 blah. Yep, and we need to draw that string in a particular location. Draw text hold coordinates at negative 16. No. Negative. 56, I believe, because it's 16 tall. And if it starts at 40, minus 56 should do it quite nicely. And then we also have to draw our set our round rectangle to draw a little differently. But I think that's good. All right, I'm just gonna assume it's good. I don't want to test it right now. It'll take too much time to do it. I'll test it when I finish the next part. Okay, so the next part is we need to make another switch, which is basically this, but instead of drawing the sprite, we need it to set when we click on said icon. It needs to set the editor tool to the proper setting. So let's see. If actually, hang on. Switch, not if. Hold selection. And actually, we're just going to take and copy this and modify it because that's going to save us some delightful amounts of time. Okay. Case 0. Alright. Now, hang on, there might be actually an even easier way to do this. Editor tool. Let's double check it here. So, at world edit controls. Okay, so if switch type case wall. Okay, yeah, okay. So we need to name the type equals whatever the type is. Wall object, blah blah. Floor. Oh yeah, I should probably put flooring in there too, huh? Yeah, I should probably do that. Maybe I'll stick that on at the end. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay. Case, so we're going to add another one. And this will be a good example of how dynamic this toolbar is. Case 11. Let's copy this whole thing. Case 11. Flooring. Now, let's see. I know I made a nice little floor, whatcha-jigger. Oh, floor whatcha-jigger. Very technical term. I wouldn't expect you to understand. A floor sprite. What did I call it, though? I don't remember. At least I think I did. Or maybe it's a background? Enemy dead background. Floor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, those are the floor backgrounds. I could have swore I made a floor sprite. Well, then how does okay. Let's see how I did something then. Alright, show properties menu. Boom! Properties menu. And let's see here. Show properties menu. Case. That's world properties, game options. Where's the floor properties? World properties is actually what it is. Get back color num. Oh, I just drew part of the background instead. Draw a pocket. Okay, well, I'll do that. I'm just gonna copy this whole great big fat line of code. Why? Because I'm lazy. Draw a background part. And we're just going to do, instead of having all this fancy switchable roo, we're just going to call it the first background. Let's see, floor. Well, let's make it like floor 4, just to help emphasize that it's different. Floor 4 background. 32, 32, and we're going to draw it in a different location, of course. Actually, we don't even need to draw it extended. I'm going to erase a good chunk of this whole thing. Draw a background part. Da, da. Okay, now we're in the X and Y, which is this. Voila! Now we have a nice floor background. Floor icon. We also need to extend our for loop to 1, add 1 to that so that it draws that as well. And we're going to add another case in there. Okay, so we are definitely going to need this to be case-based, or switch-based I should say, which is fine. Let's add another one in here for starters. Okay, and we're going to set type. So editor tool dot type. Was that capital type? Mixed naming conventions again. Shame on you, Barrick. Shame, shame. Switch type. Oh, good, I did. Alright, so switch type equals wall. Okay. Alright, let's just copy this. And we're going to go down the line. Door. And key card. I think I just called that key, if I remember right. Let's double check. Door, window. Yeah, I'll get to window. Key. Yeah, okay. Key. I'll leave that other window open so I can reference it if I need to, but I don't think I'll need to at this point. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. Switch. Gun. Pickup. Well, alright, I lied. Not so self-explanatory, it's just gun. Okay, gun. Gun! Hey, where'd my other window go? There it is. Okay. Blah. Let's shrink this down. This is way too big. Doop. There we go. Okay. Gun. And tool. Ammo. Health. That's capital. Health. Get rid of all that. Type is player. Type is enemy. Let's see. After enemy is object. Case 10 is window. And case 11 is floor. Right? Yeah. Okay. So now we should have a nice selection toolbar. Let's double check and make sure that's working. Okay. Alright, level editor. Okay, yeah, our coordinate position has been shifted properly, so now it's out of the way. Have a nice hotbar down here. Hey, look at that, on mouse over. Mouse over, it changes the object. We don't really want it on mouse over, though. That's not very, that's not friendly. It works. You cry games. So glad I can use C++. All these cases. I like cases. Cases make a lot of sense to me. And I know there's a lot of cases and all that fun stuff. And you know, yes, it is easier in C++, no doubt. But it's okay. The way I like switches and cases primarily because it helps me keep track of what's what, if I will. Yeah, and There we go. If I keep track of the window I'm supposed to be working in. So I can just be like, oh, case ammo, you know, switch whatever I need to do in here. Oh, this case, oh, I can do, you know, switch or whatever I want it here. I like it. It's functional. It works. Alright, editor tool, ammo, health, gun. What was it I was gonna switch? Oh, right. If mouse, check, button, pressed. MB left. So if the mouse button is pressed, then we're going to do this, all of this switchness, and actually set the editor tool the way it's supposed to be set. Indent for beautiful code. All right. So that's only when we push the button, and then it'll be, that will be what sets it. So that'll be fine. Okay. Now for my next trick. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, my next trick is going to screw up my positions again. The little coordinate, because it's going to get, the coordinates are once again going to get in the way. So we need to move I need to figure out a different place for the coordinates. Instead of the bottom left corner, or the bottom in general, I should stick it in the top left. Okay, so let's have it in the top left. That's gonna make it that's gonna get it out of the way, and it'll be fine. All right, let's just get it out the way. All right, so that means what we need to do is we need to change the vertical position to 40, starting at 0. Okay, and the X position doesn't change, it's just the Y position that we're changing. So draw text, yeah, at 0 plus 40, right? Yeah, okay, so that's gonna, yeah, so yeah, I think that's it, right? 0, yeah. I think. Eh. 40. 40's huge. No, not 40. 16. I just realized that. Anyway, so that gets it in the top left corner. Out of the way. Out of the way. We got other stuff coming through. Look out. Okay. So this is going to change the way we're going to do this a little bit. So, oh, here's that song again. Alright, let's skip it. There we go. Just because we don't want somebody else talking over me. I want to be able to hear myself talk. Alright, let's see. We're going to change this a little bit. We're going to have, well, I mean, yes, that's going to work, and when we click the mouse button and all that kind of stuff, we're going to have a hold selection. And let's have it so that... Okay, yeah. We're going to have a new function, a new variable called draw sub. Draw sub will now equal 1 if we click on something. And the reason for that, and we're going to have to declare that variable, of course. Draw sub equals 0. Start off like that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start drawing some, like a sub menu that's going to pop up above the existing menu. And that's going to show us the various options. That's the word I'm looking for. The various options that are available to us with whatever particular object we have, object icon we have selected. Now, we're going to have it so, and we're going to have to make it so that we can deselect. But if, let's see, editor tool dot focus equals 0. So we're gonna disable the editor tool so that we're not building stuff in the middle of our level while we're trying to work on this. And actually, we should probably disable that up here also. Editor tool dot focus equals 0. All right. Else, yeah, let's do it like this. All right. Else, if draw sub equals 0, then editor tool dot focus equals 1. So we're going to re-enable the editor tool if we move outside of our toolbar, as long as we're not drawing our sub toolbars, so that we can, click on our sub toolbars and not have the editor tool be active. So draw sub is going to equal 1. Also, if mouse check button pressed MB left and yeah, draw sub, then oops, yeah, editor tool dot focus equals 1, which means that if we are outside of our view and we are draw subbing, then we're going to enable editor focus. And also what we're going to do is we're going to, just to make sure that we don't accidentally place anything, we're going to also mouse clear MB left. We're going to clear that input so that we make sure it doesn't register that the mouse is being pressed. So let's see. Editor tool dot focus equals 1 if draw sub is 1. Good, good, good. Okay. Now, let's actually move this to the top. Or no, I take that back. Let's keep it down there. Are we gonna have to do more cases? I don't want to have to do another switch case. No, I think we're gonna have to. Yep, I think we're gonna have to. Oh well, that's fine. Whatever. Yeah, I said I like switches and cases. I'm starting to not like switches and cases. Alright, so that's only on mouse check button. Done. Now, let's see. If we're also going to have to draw some other stuff here, but we're going to have to draw it separately than this. So we're going to have to do it. I guess we're going to have to do it in here. Else, if draw sub is 1, then let's see, switch, what is it, switch hold selection? Yeah, switch hold selection I might change that functionality a little bit here, but we'll see. Switch, hold selection. Na 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 na. We should probably define hold selection too. I just realized we haven't defined that yet. Hold selection equals 0. Okay. And I think we're gonna move this. Yeah. So that this gets set when the mouse is clicked instead of on hover. And we'll just change hover to this. Actually, we'll call this hold mouse X. And we'll draw this. Hold mouse X. Hold mouse X. Okay. Alright, so now it's entirely dependent on what the object is. So what is the object? Good question. Depending on the object, we're going to draw different things. So let's just start with the wall. Actually, walls don't have a sub menu. So let's get rid of that because it's case dependent. So only when there is a submenu should we draw a submenu. If there's no submenu, there's no point in drawing a submenu because there's no submenu to draw. Submenu, health doesn't have a submenu, player doesn't have a submenu, enemy doesn't have a submenu, object has a submenu, window does not, floor, yeah, I guess floor does, doesn't it? Yeah, floor does. Okay. So we only will draw a submenu when there's certain objects need to be drawn. So that's cool. That at least reduces the number of cases that we have to make. So that's, you know, a plus. That's a very good thing. All right. So case 1 is door, and let's just comment that. Make it easier for us to remember. Okay, so if it's a door, we're gonna have to draw, set, color, C black again, draw a new toolbar right above the existing toolbar, draw a rectangle, let's see. Let's just copy this. Copy this and subtract our amount. What is it, 40 is our buffer? Right? Yeah. So 40 is our buffer, then we need to subtract 40. So the x is still the same. That's all fine and good, but the y needs to be minus 40. So y minus 40. Okay. And actually this needs to be minus 80, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Not 800, just 80. Just 80. So y minus 80 and then minus 40. Okay, cool. That should be what we want. And that might be a little too tall, actually, now that I think about it. Let's get rid of that 4. That 4 needs to be gone. Needs to be out of there. Go there. Okay, now we need to draw a whole new set of sprites. So where's our door? Here's our door. We need to draw all the various colors. So let's see. We need a loop. This is an easy loop because this one is number based. So we're gonna do draw. What do we call this? Draw sub icon. Yeah, we'll call it draw sub icon. Draw by sub icon equals that. Draw sub icon is less than. Where's our select colors? Get color. Get color is what, 14? Yeah, it's less than 14. Draw sub icon plus equals 1. Okay. Draw sprite extended so that we can add a color to it. 1, 1, no rotation. Color, select color. Draw sub icon. You Cry Games! Well, I think I should continue work on my own bug hell. Right on! Hey, thanks for stopping by, I appreciate it. And thanks for your help and all that good stuff. You have a good one too. And maybe I'll see you next time, maybe not, I don't know. But, again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Oh, that reminds me, what time is it? Oh my god, it's 8:50. We're like 20 minutes over our existing timeline. Oh, so much time wasted on bug hell. Oh, that makes me so sad. But you know what? It had to be done. It was difficult. It was brutal, but it had to be done. It really had to be done. So you know what? I'm just gonna deal with it. All right. If we hit, it's almost 9. I can do like 10 more minutes worth of this. I'm almost done, I think, with this. At least with getting the idea. I might not actually finish the functionality, but I want to see if the visual looks good. And I think we're pretty close to that. So let's see. Well, let's just test out this door. This door should work good. Draw, instead of draw base icon, we need to draw sub icon times 40. Draw sub icon, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's see if that works. Alright, let's see. All this lovely, lovely stuff. So if we were to select this, wow, we have a very fat bar, but, and we're drawing it, but we're drawing it in the wrong location. Look at that. We're like drawing it down on the bottom there. Okay, well, let's fix some stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, first, that, and I realize this needs to be completely outside of that. This needs to be on its own, doing its own thing, independent of where the mouse location is. But that's cool. So draw a rectangle, negative y minus 80, view h view minus 40. See, that's huge. Maybe, oh, I should think it'd just be y minus 40. And let's change this to y minus 80. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay. Now this is drawing in the wrong location, which makes sense. Duh. Alright, y minus... what is it? 36 or something like that? Y minus... because we want a buffer, right? So y minus 36 should be it. I think. And that's going to draw it properly. I say as if I have any idea what I'm doing, or as if anything has worked at all today. Ugh. Alright, let's see how it looks. Okay, that's cool. Nice icons. Oh, look at that. No pop-up at all. It's not popping up at all. Why would it not pop up at all? Oh, because I didn't select it. Duh. There we go. Well, we got the... well, we got it partially working. I got the background drawn in the wrong location, but we have a very nice set of door colors. So, you know, we got that going for us, I guess. Actually, I'm not sure all the door colors were there. I think I did. Yeah, I think I'm off by one there. Yeah, I'm off by one. Okay, so 15. So that'll cover all 14. This needs to be y, and then y minus 40. Okay. Yes. We will make this work. This will work. This will happen. This will happen. Okay, so we have a if we select this, boom, we get a nice little extra pop-up so that we can select this. I think I'm gonna oh, look at that, it's actually kind of drawing over top of that. I'll have to fix that. But I think I'm gonna keep the green bar, or the green icon over it, just to help indicate that which object we have selected. That'll help with like layer purposes. So let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. Alright. Alright, so I think what we're gonna... Let's get rid of this debug message. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna copy this real quick. I'll have it there, and then I'll also have it down in draw sub. If draw sub hold mouse X. No, that's not quite right. We want to have hold selection is going to be it. So we need to draw the rectangle at hold selection and hold selection. Okay. And that's going to maintain our nice little green rectangle goodness that we have going on here. We need to draw a rectangle a little bit differently, or we need to do this at -4 to y minus 40. That way it's not overlapping, but that's okay. And then we also need to draw a new green icon. Or a new green... Oops. Hey. Oi. Oi. Indent. Thank you. Actually, indent twice. Thank you. Okay. We're going to draw another green... the thing around that. So hold X, that's right, but we need to put it at -4, view H, actually let's just change that to y minus 40. Okay, so now when we look at it, we're going to have a nice little pop-up bar that's going to pop up, and we're going to have a nice little, like, sub-selection opportunity here. So if we pop in the level editor, we have a nice little sub-bar down here. Oops, I accidentally created something. Okay, and yeah, our editor tool is non-existent, as it should be. So we're not, like, if we click down here, it's not showing up anything. If we click over here, yep, look at that. No editor tool. Good. Aha, now we have a new editor. Aha, yeah, okay. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. But we're going to have to do some trickery here, in that What am I trying to do here? I mean, that worked perfect. Oh, right. That was my problem. The problem is we are drawing our green bar, our green selection thing, over top of the icon, and that's not good. We don't want that. So we're going to move that so that order of operations makes it so it draws it first and then draws the icon on top of it. And yeah, that was interesting because when I clicked out into there, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so now what we want to do is that very similar thing here. If, let's see, hold selection equals the same as hold mouse X, which actually would be the same, equals, yeah, hold mouse X. Well, no, we could do this even fancier. At least for this object. I don't know if I will be lucky enough to do that for all the objects, but we can at least do that for this object, for the doors, and that is, I think what is it? Type? No. Is it place color? Yeah, place color. Okay, so we're going to change place color to that. So if mouse check button pressed MB left, if mouse check button pressed MB left, so if the mouse is checked, then editor tool dot place color equals hold mouse X. Bam. Alright. Now, we want to have it deselect the yeah, let's move this. We're going to move this. I'm going to add that to this functionality here. And editor tool dot focus equals 1 and draw sub equals 0. There we go. So that's gonna make our place color. It's gonna draw us. Okay. I think that is the functionality that we want for this particular toolbar. I'm reasonably confident that's the functionality we want. Reasonably confident. I don't know why I'm reasonably confident. I shouldn't be, given everything that's happened today, but you know what? I guess I'm cocky. Alright, so click... Oh, look at that. No. It's deselecting it automatically, right off the bat. I know how to fix that, though. That's an easy fix. That's right here. In that all this good stuff, we also need to mouse clear MB left. Because it's thinking that we're pressing the mouse and it's getting confused. Which makes sense. It was mostly working though. Alright. Click this. Look at that. Our green bar is still drawing over top of the other thing. I thought I fixed that. I guess not that it particularly matters, but let's, I don't know, let's pick a color. Blue. Hey, look, we got blue doors. If we click the doors, can we draw pink? Can we draw pink doors? We can draw pink doors. Yay! We have all our colors, and we can just select whatever color we want and paste it in there. That's glorious. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay, so we have a functional toolbar, at least as far as the doors are concerned. It is acting a little bit weird in that it's drawing the green rectangle over top of the sprite, which I'm trying to understand why I'm doing that. Why you do that? Why you do this? Oh. That's why. Because it's still in front of the sprite. There. Fixed it. I moved the wrong draw green square earlier. That's why it's still drawing over top of it. Level editor, open. That's annoying. I'm gonna have to fix that right quickly. That's another bug. I don't want to like automatically like click on a OK and it drops a stupid thing. No, that's unacceptable. All right. Anyway, we have a nice thing there, and we can pop it up and select whatever one we want. And it's obvious, at least I hope it's obvious, if you try to move up here that it's like, oh well, you still have to select something. You have to tell me what you want me to make. I'm like, okay, well I'll draw that. Boom. And then of course that's just for that hotbar. We can still change colors with the hotkeys. We can still rotate, all that fun stuff like we're supposed to be able to do. And yet, and then we can draw our walls, and we can place our med packs, and place our gun. Hey, place our gun. Click gun. Hey, gun. Oh my. I shouldn't say that. Wow. The reason why it's not letting me place any guns is because guns technically have a subbar, but I'm not drawing a subbar, so it can't select a subbar, so it's not bringing the focus back to the editor tool. Okay. But that'll be fixed as soon as I populate the rest of these cases for all of the other things. And I got some pretty cool ideas as far as like the environmental objects. There's going to be like multi-tiered submenus for the environmental objects, because some of the environmental objects are rather big. They're a lot larger than just a little 32 by 32 square. So I'm going to have a sub object above that, or a sub-menu for all of the various sizes. So like the bottom one will be all of the, essentially one grid block size environmental objects, and there'll be another sub-menu above that for all of the 2x2 environmental objects, and then there'll be another sub-menu above that for all of the 3x3 objects. Or excuse me, the 4x4 sub-objects. I don't have 3x3 environmental objects yet. I might, and if I do, I'll add that too. But for now, 4x4s. So 1s, 2s, and 4s. So there'll be a couple of sub menus that I'll be drawing on top of that for the environmental objects, so that we can, draw them all. And it might need even more sub menus, depending on how many environmental objects there are and how much horizontal width. Like I might have to make like 2 layers of the 1x1 environmental objects just because there's so many of them, and might even have to do that for the 2x2s. I might have to change some of the way I'm doing that, just because I don't know if I have enough vertical space for all of that. I'll find out. Like I do, make it up as I go. Alright, let's see. We're already almost 40 minutes past when I normally stop my stream, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for now. We got a really nice environmental, or not environmental, but a nice level editor, new feature, user interface thing that is nice and functional for the most part. And it'll especially be functional once I start populating some of the other options, but being able to quickly select colors and see them, I really like that. Swapping around to a different wall object and stuff like that. Oh, there's a bug, I'll have to fix that. Yeah, I like it a lot. Hey, look at that. Is that like a super secret color? Yeah. That's like drawing it just straight up black. Key color, get color. Yeah, I imagine you are having trouble getting a color because there's a color that doesn't exist there. Anyway. Yeah, so we have a functional system there, and obviously it needs a little bit of cleaning up to do, which is fine. I would have easily been able to do that had I not been in bug hell for like the first hour, 2 hours, or whatever, or hour and a half, or however long it took to fix that stupid little bug in the beginning. But now that it's all fixed, I'm glad that's working properly. I'm glad all of that is functioning properly. That will make it easier for people to make levels. The level editor toolbar is going to make things nice for levels. And while I am out of time to do streaming, I will be continuing to work on this. And I will have that editor toolbar nice and cleaned up and working and fully functional by Friday's release. And as I said earlier, I now have Linux as a potential platform. So I'm going to fix my Linux box and export a copy for Linux and put it out there for Feedback Friday, which is coming up this Friday, of course, and post it out there and see what you all think. So thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. All of you guys are awesome. Chris, thank you for showing up. You Cry Games, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, very helpful, and keeping me company. Love ya. And I hope to see you next time. Hey, look at that. I'm actually stopping my stream on purpose.